So Ronald, next question. I know you've answered this many times, but we want to ask this question again because there's many people on the call just joined Cloud Token. And okay, question. What is the vision of the company for the next 3 years? How many members do you want versus how many users do you want? And the last part of this question, what's the plan to achieve this?
Okay, I believe that this question was targeted for me to expose a lot of stuff. Okay, so we have a vision for a 3-year plan to actually to build up to 100 million customers with 1.5 million networkers to engage or to sign up 20 million merchants. Okay, these are not numbers that I plug out from the air. These are the numbers which we calculated that it would give us a yield of about 10 billion in terms of capital. Our net worth will be about 10 million. So we are going to be a unicorn in 3 years' time, and no VCs. Okay, so how are we going to achieve 100 million members? That is a very, very good question. Through Cloud SIM itself, Cloud SIM is going to be a service whereby users are able to put in small funds. For example, you're going to put in $10 or $1 a day. That's $30 a month. And you have a chance to actually deduct or reduce the amount that you pay for your SIM. Your SIM service, and by the time you actually accrued up to about $100, okay, you are probably able to get a 4 gig service for usage a month for free. And at the end of the term of this, for example, especially targeted for migrant workers, they can actually take back their entire invested amount, and yeah, they get the service for free. So basically how we do it is through compound financing, as I said earlier on, whereby we take their invested assets to actually roll, to actually borrow to other exchanges or other traders who needs these assets to do short-term loan trading. And from that itself, we can actually hit about 2%, 3% a month, okay, from there. So it is going to attract when you have some sort of a free SIM data service. It will attract people, all right? And in Malaysia alone, there's 6 million registered migrant workers. Non-registered, probably another 4. So you've got 10 million of them there. And you're talking about, not Thailand itself, registered is about 4 million migrant workers. Non-registered, probably you have about 8 or 9, so that is already about 20 million. And in Singapore itself, 1.3 registered migrant workers, probably about 1.5, and all this actually is about 20 million from there. Not to mention in Dubai, so you have all the Indians, Bangladeshis, Pakistanis, and all around the world. Okay, we are only targeted at all this, but when all of these people use it for free, I believe that we are the biggest MVNO in Southeast Asia, okay, and this will actually attract many people to actually use the SIM, and from that itself, probably to get another 80 million people to join in the next 3 years. It's a walk in the park. Then one of the cool things about this 20 million migrant workers are every month end, they will have to send money back home, right? That's a remittance. And that is where all the merchants comes in. The merchants itself, which is being signed up by the network marketers, okay, they become cash points. And all these cash points now, all these merchants, okay, they are like banks. They're like ATM machines, right? Where, let's give you this, I'll give you this scenario, right? At a particular village in, let's say, Vietnam or Jakarta, or Indonesia, okay, just Indonesia alone, all right? Some small village, there's no bank access. So everyone keeps their money underneath their pillow. But there are a lot of shops or merchants around, small merchants. And this merchant somehow, one of the members signs them up, okay? And this merchant itself were to go to town to actually bank in the money, okay? So what happens is the merchant itself can actually collect the money from these people, and without going to the bank, they can actually give Ethereums to these people, or these unbanks, and the Ethereums which this unbank gets, they can put into Rogue or Jarvis, which actually gives them more yield. And they are not locked down. The money is not locked down. The asset is not locked down. They can still use these assets, either in CTO or Ethereum, to actually buy stuff from the merchants. All right. So immediately we turn this unbanked to financially included. Okay. Unbanked does not mean that they have no money. Unbanked means that that's just not included. Okay. Because bank has no access to them. It costs too much for banks to actually start up a branch, and the logistics is just terrible. But because all of them have mobile phones and they are all using the cloud SIMs now, right? So the kids that is working overseas can actually just send Ethereums or CTOs back home, and the parents can go to the convenient the merchants to actually cash out. And what is it in for the merchants? When the merchants do a conversion, as you know, the cheapest or the peer-to-peer trade for cryptocurrency is 2%. The buyer will pay 1%, the seller will pay 1%, right? So the merchant now gets 1% from doing this. And this is actually increasing their revenue. So you tell me any payment solution, gateway, or whatever that is in the market now, who actually pays the merchant? It's always the merchant paying the merchant discount rate. They're paying more to actually execute a transaction. Now, when they execute our transaction, they get money, they get more. And it's economically sustainable.
Wow.
So this is just mind-blowing. Just take a minute to really just imagine that, right? If we will cover India, Thailand, Vietnam. Vietnam has 100 million in population. And how many unbanked? I think Ellie would know. It's about 70, 80%. All right? You're talking about 70 million people that has no access to bank accounts. And now suddenly all of them use their mobile phones. They can travel, they can do anything. All right? And it's frankly not illegal. It's because number one is we're still putting the money back into the local financial system, right? So I think the government will love this as well. Okay, we are actually helping them evolutionize the villages without them lifting a finger.
Amazing stuff, amazing stuff. Ronald,